So to access the inner plates and to get to the areas that have to be cleaned and worked on, we work from the back of the panel. And right now Steve is removing one of the most exterior plates. And we try to save the lead as much as possible. Steve's just making a little handle out of tape so that he can, it'll assist him in lifting the piece away from the window. And as soon as it's removed, one can see why we have to get it out. That's all dried out putty and dirt that has migrated in between the plates. Now these windows are put together in a variety of ways. It's a single lid with multiple pieces of glass inside of it. So when Steve gets the first piece out, he just opens it a little bit more, and the next piece theoretically should lift out. Good. Wow. Now this is another interesting thing to note about how these windows are put together. While it's plated in layers, when you move from layer to layer, the complexity can either become more simple or it can become much more complex, as it has in this case. So this is the back of the glass that you actually see when you look at the front of the window. We're now looking at the back of the window. Taking the plates off is to access pieces to clean, as Kathy is doing. She's just using water and a non-ionic surfactant called Triton X. And what we found is on some of the glass where the dirt is really ingrained, adding a little bit of whiting to the mix helps dramatically in cleaning. Just move it up a little bit.
See that piece? Isn't that incredible?
Good. Oh, yes. It's amazing, isn't it? Now, that's without a plate. Is there a plate missing from that or no?
No, there's nothing missing.
So this is the name plate that has the Tiffany Studios signature on it. And originally it would have all been painted in black, but much of the paint has come off and has just left a ghost image of the signature. This is a museum level restoration. We want to keep it the way it was, and you can read it. If it was so bad that you couldn't see the graphic, we'd add another plate on top of it. We'd paint what was missing on the back of the new plate, sandwich it on top of the old plate. You would see the graphic, but we wouldn't have changed the original. But I don't think we have to do that here, because you can read it. The story of these windows is almost as important as the windows themselves. So. But one thing we're going to change is a lot of the dirt that you see that gets in between the layers of glass and dramatically cuts down on the light transmission is because the dirt can get in between the layers of glass. So we're putting a very thin coat of silicone.
And that's what he's doing right now.
That's what he's doing right now. There's an amazing detail up in here, cutting this is drapery glass. And cutting the drapery glass is unbelievably difficult to begin with, but to cut it out in a fashion to insert a star is just pretty amazing.
This will be a challenge. I'm not sure what this is right here, and whether it'll be resolved on the interior surface, or it's an issue that's between the plates. But it's a little disconcerting because of what's going on. What's happening here is, I don't know if it's some sort of a chemical reaction between the foam that's been in there for over 40 years, but this same kind of, some sort of surface anomaly has happened on the same color in every face. This one is probably not as bad as I've seen, but it's on the lips. It comes off. I start in a nondescript area just to get a sense on the levels of the accretions and dirt. So I'll come down in the neck or the hair before I start, in this area. I kind of want to do it where it's a gradual. then I take the dirt down on a gradual level all the way around. So I'll move around the face several times. All these windows are really, the paint's been stable, so I'm not overly concerned with that at this point. And I try to go to areas that are the least conspicuous at first. I wouldn't start right in around the eyes or the mouth until I get a sense on how aggressive the dirt is. Trying to move too in the manner of which it would be a brush stroke. I can actually see brush marks through here. And that's the way I'll try to remove the dirt, is the same way the painter would have painted it. And I need to do it with light behind it so I can see.
The process is that we're going to have to look at the window both with reflected light and in transmitted light. So Kathy's cleaning the wings of the angel, and this is made from a heavily rippled glass, which has a tremendous texture, and it just picks up a tremendous amount of dirt. And unfortunately, it's a very labor-intensive process. So you basically have to reach into each little fold in the glass and clean the dirt out. It's just such a beautifully, there's great luminosity here to this glass once the dirt comes out of all the folds.